Woody Guthrie? Singing? Oh, wait a second, yeah, it's,
Oh, okay, Carolyn's
this
looking up
Landis-
her notes for her reading. She saw reading and assumed that Ruth would do the hard part. But she has something, she's prepared something, she just needs to look it up now.
I give up. I had a quote by Woody Guthrie that explained why he wrote his songs. But he was quite a character, as anybody knows if you know anything about him at all. A pretty sad life altogether. His mother had Huntington's chorea. They used to call it, now they call it Huntington's disease. He had it as well, and spent the last 15 years of his life institutionalized and not able to do much of anything. And he had 8 children altogether, and 2 of his children had it too. And then 2 of his other children were killed in automobile accidents. He had a little girl that was accidentally burned to death in a fire. It's just, he had a sad life, but he wrote some great songs. He was born in 1912 in Oklahoma and died in 1967 in New York. He had 3 wives. His second wife was really, really good with him and took care of him when he got really sick, and made sure that she and her children visited him and were good. He went all around the country. When the Depression, he went out to California and he left his first wife and their 3 kids and went out to California and worked at a radio station, and then found his way back to New York and married, I guess, his second wife. I don't know. But making music all the way. And are we supposed to sing now? Oh yeah, we're supposed to sing Old Man Trump. Sorry. Why don't we play Old Man Trump into the speaker and let everybody sing along with the... This is Old Man Trump.
It's not one of his best known tunes, so
It's highly apropos. And there's a new version of it. If you come across on YouTube, the North Carolina, no, it's New Mexico Raging Grannies. They have a nice updated version of this.
okay, it'll take me a moment to find it. We're going to sing along with a guitar player here. Like I say, it's not its most memorable tune, but pay attention to the words. It's actually about Trump's father. And many of you know his father was convicted of applying racism to the buildings that he rented to folks, the lily white apartments that he rented. So that's what this song addresses. And I'll try to find the right place here.
Trump's color line enforced in his housing projects. Fred Trump faced accusations of racism throughout his life. In 1927, Fred Trump was arrested during a clash between the Ku Klux Klan and police in Queens. In 1954, around the time Woody penned these lyrics, his unfair housing practices were ordered to be investigated by President Dwight Eisenhower. Finally, in 1973, the U.S. Justice Department sued the Trump Organization for violating the Fair Housing Act by discriminating against black tenants. The Trump Organization's chair was Fred Trump, but the president at this time was, you guessed it, Donald Trump. I hope you found the story and inspiration for this Woody Guthrie song as interesting as I did. Without further ado, here's the play along.
Woody lived in one of Trump's buildings. Suppose that old man Trump knows just how much racial hatred he stirred up in that blood pot of human hearts. When he drawed that color line here at his Beach Haven Family Project. Beach Haven ain't my home, I just can't pay this rent. My money's down the drain, my soul is badly bent. Beach Haven is Trump's tower, no black folks come to roam. No, man Trump, Beach Haven ain't my home. Now my welcome to you and your man both, welcoming you here to Beach Haven. To love in any way you please, and to have some kind of place to have your kids raised up in. Beach Haven ain't my home, no, I just can't pay this rent. My money's down the drain, and my soul is badly bent. Beach Haven is Trump's tower, no black folks come to roam. No, man Trump, Beach Haven ain't my home. Okay, that's enough.
The next one is the really great one, This Land Is Your Land, which Woody wrote in 1940 as a, how do you call it, an answer to God Bless America, because Woody said God has already blessed America.
Sign there, and on the sign it said no trespassing.
interesting piece of trivia that you are all required to know, being Staten Islanders. They found the original piece of paper where Guthrie wrote this song down, and instead of the New York Island, he had originally written Staten Island.
Yes. Yes, true.
Publisher must have talked to him. He struck out Staten and put in New York. But you know now, this is about Staten Island.
Right. So we have a reading schedule that didn't get into the program, but it's brief and it talks about the joy of singing. And it comes from a Canadian magazine called Broadview. And the title is Singing Together Makes Beautiful Music and Social Change. And it's from somebody named Tamid Shafiq. I've become fascinated with whether singing provides broad social benefits. I already know what science has said. There's rarely a downside. It helps express emotion and foster relationships. It can even fortify your self-esteem if you sing something like a folk song that carries cultural significance for you. Multiple studies over the past decade have shown that the mental health benefits of singing with others are consistent across different groups of people in crowds both large and small. But communal singing can also be an agent of social change. It goes like this. If personal change is a boost in mood, and the community change is conviviality toward the people you're singing with, then social change is about marshaling those emotions against injustice. Historical examples include wartime songs like the Battle Hymn of the Republic by Julia Ward Howe, published in 1862, to encourage Americans fighting during the Civil War to abolish enslavement. In the early 20th century, industrial workers took universal folk tunes and added new lyrics about the struggle for rights, creating songs like Solidarity Forever. The civil rights movement popularized We Shall Overcome. When sung in a crowd, all these songs both unite protesters and also spread the message. Music can go a long way to do that without having to be didactic or combative.
Okay, the next song is also by... Sorry?
I'm
Calling
sorry.
for the offering?
The offertory, yes, sorry. I've scrambled up my pages here, hang on.
You want to announce it or go on into
Oh,
the song?
I see. No, I see what I did. Okay. Hang on 1 second, because it is time for the offertory. And I have lost that page. I don't know where I put it. Well, this is the time when we take an offering, and Chris and Randy will come around with the plates and gather up the offerings, which we gratefully receive, which help to keep us going and keep us together. And I wish I had all the words here, folks, but I don't. So I say just open your hearts and your pockets and whatever and give. And for the folks online, you know about writing a check or using the the routine we have on the website. I'm sorry. Anyway, Chris and Randy, and I think we have some music.
And we're going to sing All You Fascists Bound to Lose. Yes, it seemed particularly appropriate. We're going to sing with the phone again. Here we go.
Show these fascists what a couple of hillbillies can do.
This is Woody.
Well, I'm going to tell you fascists, you
You
may
may be surprised, the people in this world are getting organized. Lose, you fascists bound to lose. Oh, you fascists bound to lose. I said, oh, you fascists bound to lose. Yes, sir. Oh, you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. Any living nation, marching side to side, marching across these fields where 1 million fascists died. Bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. I said, oh, you fascists bound to lose. Yes, sir. Oh, you fascists bound to lose. Bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. Fascists bound to lose. Oh, you fascists bound to lose. Oh, you fascists bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose.
And that's it. Oh, you want to do it again with no music? Okay, we'll go. This one is by the Weavers. Ruth is going to tell you more about the Weavers in her sermon. Just real quickly, it was a guy named Lee Hayes, Fred Hellerman, Ronnie Gilbert, and Pete Seeger. And what was I going to tell you about this? I. Oh well, if I think of the rest of it, I'll tell you. But it's a wonderful song, and we're singing it in English. If Sarah Rachel was here, she could do the Hebrew, but she's not here.
It's got a 4-measure introduction. Zena, 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 can't you hear the music in the city square? Zena, 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 come with all your friends, find us with the dancers there.
Zena, Zena, join the celebration. There'll be people there from every nation. Dawn will find us laughing in the sunlight, dancing in the city square. Zena, Zena, come and dance for a dance, sing with people dance together. Zena, Zena, when the band is playing, my heart sings.
Zena, 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 hear the music playing in the city square. Zena, 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 come where all our friends will find us with the dancers there. Zena, Zena, join the celebration. There'll be people there from every nation. God will find us laughing in the sunlight, dancing in the city square. Zena, Zena, come and dance for a dance, sing with people, dance together. Zena, Zena, when the band is playing, my heart sings. Zena, Zena, Zena. Hey.
Okay. Well, we're running so late now, and oh God, now I have a sermon to do. I thought of cutting it down a bit, but you know what? They talk about the almanac singers, they talk about us at RISD and how we got into folk music, and I'm just gonna do it. Here it is. Okay, we can hang around for this? Okay, thank you. All right, so Fudd and me, John Benson, nickname of Fudd, childhood nickname. So we were students at RISD, as I said before, in 1959. We were just married. And we lived in this little teeny tiny garret apartment way up in the top of a Victorian house on Benefit Street in Providence. And in this little teeny tiny apartment, we had one little teeny tiny closet. And in this teeny tiny closet was a violin in a violin case, where it lived. It was never played. It was his violin from when he was a boy, and he was compelled by his parents to take violin lessons. He was very musical, by the way, but the violin wasn't doing it for him. So one day, He comes home with a 5-string banjo. And I say to him, oh, we're going to have another instrument that never gets played and takes up more space in our teeny tiny closet? But I was wrong. He loved the banjo. He absolutely loved it. He began playing it. So this is like early in '59. He began practicing and playing it. And he got to be good pretty fast. I mean, he had an aptitude for a stringed instrument anyway. And we were all listening to music at that time. So we loved music of all kinds. I mean, we were folkies, no doubt about it. We sang all kinds of folk songs. We had all the albums that were available, and we ranged across the U.S. into English folk songs and sea shanties. But we loved pop music. We loved the jazz girl singers. We loved Chris Connor, June Christie, Jerry Southern, and they were all performing up in Boston at Storyville, which was owned by George Wein, who we will get to. We loved show tunes. We bought that first cast album of Candide. So we were music lovers. But there's something about the folk music, because with the folk music, you're not just listening to it, or you're not just kind of singing along. You're in it. You're in it with your enthusiasm and yourself. You're in it with the people that you're with. You're in it with the folks that are playing, and they're in it with you. And it's just like this really wonderful, embracing, we're all in this together, and it's great. So, before I talk about his hometown was Newport, Rhode Island. We were in school in Providence, but we would go home in the summers. He was a junior that year. I was a junior that year. He was a sophomore. So we were in Newport that summer of '59. And then the following year, we were back in RISD. And then the year after, the year after there was a festival, and then we went on an honors program to Rome. Okay, so '59. What was happening was, folk music had become so popular that George Wein, who was the founder and the producer of the Newport Jazz Festival, the very famous Newport Jazz Festival, was beginning at Storyville to have Sunday afternoons just dedicated to folk singing. And so he'd have Odetta, John Jacob Niles, a few of the artists who were performing then. And it was so popular and so successful, he wanted to institute a day at the Jazz Festival that would be a complete folk day. And he was going to have Pete Seeger and Odetta and Oscar Brand and the Kingston Trio. This was just a little too much for the jazz folks. Too commercial. Why are you destroying this wonderful event we have every summer? No. So George Wein said, okay, you know what? We should have a parallel festival, something that's like the Jazz Festival, but dedicated to folk. But of course, he wasn't a folk person. So what he did was he got together with, what's his name? Wait a second. I've got it here. He was the manager for Odetta. And he got together with him to hire the singers, the performers, and to, to hire the performers and to organize it. So the three folk singers who joined with them to set this up were Pete Seeger, Theo Bickel, and Oscar Brand. And in 1959, they put on the very first Newport Folk Festival. I was going to give you a lot of background on the Almanac Singers, I have it here, and on Pete and the Weavers. I'm not going to do that. We'd be here forever. So I'm just going to talk about our experience and keep it short. So we went to this first folk festival, and it was amazing. So it was at Free-Body Park. It's just a little park, local people play baseball there, whatever. And you could just walk right in. It's behind the beautiful Stanford White Casino on Bellevue Avenue in Newport. And, course, Benson came along with his axe. That was very important. Oh, I'm losing, yes, we're losing me, I'm sorry. Because I'm not reading, I forget. So Benson comes along with his axe in this hand then, and you could just wander right up to the front, and all the musicians were milling around, and he goes with his banjo, and he's picking away, and he's picking with Mike Seeger of the New Lost City Ramblers, who is, by the way, Pete Seeger's half-brother. And he's just back there schmoozing with the performers, and then we sit down, front row, got there early, and out comes the array of listed singers. And Bob Gibson comes out with a guest, not listed. And he said, I want to introduce this folk singer who's been performing at coffee houses in Boston. And out came Joan Baez. So we were there the night that she got introduced at the Newport Folk Festival. However, we had already seen her in a little concert at the Rhode Island School of Design in Memorial Hall. It was probably her first foray out of Boston. And she was standing up there, and I'll never forget this, with her guitar, and she's sort of talking in between, and she says, I love Appalachian folk music. I love Appalachian hill music. Distresses my mother. And there she was. So this was very thrilling for us. And you know, as we went through the years, sort of getting to know people, getting to know some of the performers, and getting more and more active, folk was really, really very, very strongly popular in just among us folks. So, okay, so we were there for the introduction of Joan Baez. We were at the festival in 1963 when Joan Baez introduced Bob Dylan, again, right up front. We were there in '65 when Dylan went electric and Pete Seeger pulled the cord. And everybody always said, you know, folk purists couldn't stand the electronic intrusion. But that wasn't the case. It was because, and the fans also reacted this way, the sound system was so bad because it wasn't geared to be picking up, you know, electronic music. So that was kind of interesting because we were there really for all of these high points, much less all the wonderful music and the wonderful artists that we followed over the years. So because we had settled in Newport, we attended every folk festival, mixed with the musicians. We went to the after parties. Everybody brought their instruments. You hung around and you played with everybody and sang. I sang along, I didn't play. We became friends with Ramblin' Jack Elliott and a couple of lesser known artists like Eric von Schmidt and an English folk singer named Louis Killen from Newcastle upon Tyne, who settled in Newport for several months one year in the late 60s. I had the biggest crush on Louis, I have to tell you. And we would all go on Friday nights to the Black Pearl on Bannister's Wharf in Newport, because there was a little stage there, and there was like a local musician who used to also play. His name was Jody Gibson, and we'd go and we'd listen to Jody. Sometimes Louis would come and sit in, and I'd always ask him to play and sing for me the week before Easter, my favorite song in his repertory, Easter My Heart. And the music, the playing, the singing with others, it became an essential part of our social lives, of our lives together. Sitting on the beach summer nights around a campfire with guitars and banjos and singing. Friday nights with friends at the Black Pearl, joining local musician Jody Gibson, singing sea shanties. Something I used to do later at the Lion's Head in my drinking years. It's a different story. There's nothing like it. The joy, the camaraderie, the exhilaration of singing with others in community, with people who are equally present and equally invested. It was probably the most fun I've ever had in my life. And now. Oh, no, no, really. Thank you. So now I think we have more songs. Go ahead. Let's see. Oh, no, you can't skip this one.
I believe this is a Pete Seeger. Yeah, it is, Pete Seeger song. Oh, and what I was gonna tell you before, when I got enamored of the Weavers was way back in the 1980s. There's a PBS special called Wasn't That a Time? And you may still be able to stream it somewhere that's like a reunion the Weavers had like shortly before Lee Hayes died.
Where have
Yep.
all the flowers gone?
Great song.
Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? The girls have
is the time when we extinguish the chalice. I invite you to join me in extinguishing our chalice. You can find the affirmation in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment, for these we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
I did my best, it wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I told the truth, I didn't want to fool you. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord and song. There's nothing on earth but
Service and hospitality through that door.
You have earned your coffee.